In this video, I speak with Manfred Cole, one of our channel group members and a U.S. tourist who was held by the Colombian customs at the Cartagena Airport. Follow along.
You're watching DC-born Rob, Erasing Borders.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. First, we're going to jump into the story, and then we're going straight to the interview. Do me a favor, listen and watch the entire video. I've seen comments made by people who've only watched maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but listen to the entire video and hear Manfred's official account of what happened that day from his perspective, okay? But first, let's just jump into a story. I found this one online. It states they detained foreigners for no reason at the Rafael Nunez Airport, okay? It says United States citizens Manfred Cole from Wisconsin and Ernesto Vargas from New York have been sitting for almost 24 hours without food or water at the Rafael Nunez Airport, where they are being held for no reason. And there's a picture of both of them. It says, as Manfred explains, 6 o'clock was the last time they spoke to the last person they saw. Since then, the airport appears to have been abandoned with them inside one of the rooms with the door locked. One of these detainees explains the situation. He says, honestly, they didn't give me a valid reason. The officer was not professional with me. He was already upset and out of patience for drawing attention to another group. Another immigration officer named Edwin was in the next booth and saw everything that happened and also was a supervisor. I was only able to speak to him. He even told me that it should never have happened and that the officer lost his patience. But he said he couldn't do anything because he had already forbidden me for that day. The reasons, Manfred Cole, on the other hand, was requested in the chamber on 3 different occasions to put on the mask while he was in line for the immigration process, ignoring. In that sense, a measure is given for non-compliance with the sanitary norm. Status is also present. Not sure what status is. In a Weill Cornell medicine report, Vargas would have tested negative for COVID-19 and would have no reason to be in that room where he is being held, apparently. But the test was not very clear to Datis' doctor, and he did not say what type of test it was. The Datis indicated to isolate him, but he did not have the address where he was going to stay. So he was given all the time necessary to get it without obtaining a response. The man showed no interest in giving any information. This is obviously from the perspective of the customs agents. I'm not sure if this video is going to show, but this is from Vargas he took. So listen in Spanish.
Ya tenemos 17 horas aquí. Estamos en el frente del aeropuerto, de verdad no sé cómo se llama este cuarto, pero nosotros entramos por ahí y la puerta está cerrada. Tenemos 14 horas sin hablar con nadie y nadie ha venido a hablar con nosotros. No sabemos nada de verdad.
Okay, so there's the story. There's the official story by one of the participants of the media. So let's just jump straight into the story, but do me a favor. If you're getting any benefit out of my videos, do me a favor, go down and hit the subscribe button, click the bell to be alerted of any new videos, and like. Like helps the YouTube algorithm. The more you hit like, the more YouTube decides to share it with other viewers. Okay, and remember, for all those who take a second and go down and hit like, out of sight, you all right. That's right, much appreciated. So let's just jump straight into the interview. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located, and thanks for watching. This is part 2. This is the interview with Manfred Cole. He is one of our group members that got held up at the Cartagena Airport 2 days ago. He's currently in Medellin, Colombia. That's right. He made it back. He said he wasn't going to let that stop him. He's actually in Colombia right now, and we got him on screen. So, hey, Manfred, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. And we didn't go through that ourselves, but we felt like we went through it with you because we were up till late that night going, man, what can we do? I was talking to my girl's an attorney. So she's going down the whole list of why could they remove you. They could say you didn't do the protocols or whatever, all the different reasons. But anyway, I've already started that in my last video. So let's just jump right in and you tell me yourself What happened? You were on the plane feeling good and you landed, and what happened?
Yeah, so basically, I was feeling good. My flight was from Miami to Cartagena. So, I mean, I've been doing research. I was researching like Colombia, just looking at different videos, looking at your guys' videos, and just I was getting excited for the trip, and recently I became like a solo traveler. So, I like traveling, by
Mhm.
myself, staying, a couple weeks at a time. So people were like, yeah, go to Colombia. It's, Colombia. So my plan was to go to Cartagena for a couple weeks and, work my way down Medellin and, kind of go from there. So boom, get off the plane, right? Go through immigration.
Mhm.
So the line was long. It was a long plane, it was, yeah. So I asked people in front of me while we were waiting. I was like, because I had to pull up all my information, my where I was staying, my COVID test. So I asked them like, hey, what kind of service y'all got, down here? And they, told us, told me AT&T. So we were just having small talk. It wasn't much. It was just, hey, where you from? How long you staying here?
So
And
y'all were
that's
in line
so we were, yeah, so
side
we
by
were
side.
online. I didn't know
Okay.
anybody. That's the first time
Mhm.
I met them. So it was probably like a group of six. It was like six of us, just all just kind of like just it was small talk, like every few minutes we were asking questions like, oh, how long you here for? Oh, you working remote too? I'm working remote too. It
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
honestly just small talk, right?
Okay.
So one of the immigrations officers, told a group of us, hey, just go, move a little quick. Let's just go to the other line. So about six of us, went over there, and like I said, we're just having small talk, small talk. Um, so the immigration officer saw us and he told us, "Hey, the circles where it says stand 6 feet from one
Mhm.
another."
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, stand. You gotta sit here. You're here. You're here. You're here." And like we're like, okay, all right, okay. So then he comes back again. He was like, because I had my mat. So the dude, one individual asked me a question, and I went like this with my mask. I just, because he couldn't understand me. So I was like, I think I said, oh, for real, yeah, that's what's up. My bad. Yeah, that's what's up. So then he's like, hey, put your mask on, put your mask on. I was like, okay, respectfully. I was like,
What kind of
oh.
mask did you have?
So I had, I'll show
One of the
you.
blue ones or just a?
It was a custom one. It was a custom one.
Okay, so it was a fabric one. Okay.
Yeah, it was a fabric one.
Mhm.
So the guy, like I said, we were online for a while. The guy asked me another question. Um, and then I responded, and I like so I adjusted it for him to understand what I was saying. And then the guy, the same immigration officer, he comes back. He says, "You American? You American? You American?" And I was like, "Yes."
Where were you in line? Was he taking care of you? I mean, were you right at the
I
booth?
wasn't. I wasn't. I didn't even go to the desk. I was probably like the second. I was the second one. I was the second. So there was one person in front of me before I got to the immigration
Okay.
desk.
Mhm.
So he was like, "Where's your passport?" And I was like, "Okay, he's on a power trip, whatever." So I showed my passport. He flipped the page. He flipped the page. He flipped the page, and he was like, "You're going back to America." I'm just like, I was like, wow, okay. So I was like, you know what? Let me just remain calm. Like he's on a power trip. Um, he has a little ego. Let me just be calm. I wasn't combative. I wasn't argumentative. I literally, when he said that, I was shocked. But then I realized I know what he's on, man. He's trying to be big macho man. So I was like, let him just, calm down, and he's not gonna send me back to Miami. So when he did that to me, the so he was processing the individual that end up in the cell, not cell, end up in the holding room with me. So I saw the whole episode, whatever, and he was already agitated with me, of course. So the guy, his name is Ernesto. He basically didn't know the room number of his Airbnb, or the street address, I should say. He knew where he was staying, but he didn't know the street address. So then he was trying to pull up on his friend's phone, but his friend already got through customs, got through immigration, and it was just on the other side. So he was trying to call him, and then like the guy just agitated. Same thing. You're going back to America. You're going back to America. And so then, Ernesto, he was hot. Bro, he was like, you can't, oh my God, you can't do this. You can't, he was like trying to talk to somebody. And then I told him, so that was my first time meeting him, meeting him, talking to him. And I said, bro, just calm down, man. We're good. Like, this dude is on a power trip. I know what the type of people he is. He's on a power trip. Let's just calm down. Let's not look like threats. Just sit there. My thought process was, that like the whole line, everyone's gonna get checked through before they let us in. So that's what I was thinking. So I was like, whatever, man. I was just gonna chill. I was really just gonna chill and sit there, And so then, they took our passport. They were like taking pictures of it, texting on their phone. And then the guy was like, bring their bags from, baggage claim. So they brought our bags. And so we're just standing there while everyone's like going through, and people were just like, the employees, I saw the people's like their faces, the employees just like, they were just shocked, like they didn't even do nothing, So the whole time I was just sitting there, I was literally just calm, like I was chilling, I was like, all right, whatever. So then maybe 30 minutes later, probably around like 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. They put us in that room I showed y'all. And from about 3 to 6, about 3 to 6, that was my thought process. Like, man, we're gonna get out. We're gonna get out. I kept telling bro, just relax. We're going to get out.
The other guy was agitated still?
He wasn't agitated, but I was more optimistic. Like, I was optimistic about it. I'm like, bro, they're not. I was like, what reason do they have what reason do they have for keeping us here? Like, there's no valid reason. You know what I mean?
So at that point, they hadn't told you any reason.
Nothing. They just said, come. They said, come with us. They said, come with us. And so then I was like I said, I'm an optimistic person, right? So I was just like, man, we're good. Just sit there playing your phone, this whole thing will brush over. So, we're in there kind of talking, we're just explaining like our stories. And I was like, he really got upset because I adjusted my mask and he did not know the street address. And I was just like, bro, he's on a power trip, he's on a power trip. Just let him be, man. He wanted to be, Captain Superhero, so let him be superhero, So then I told him, I was like, I said, they're gonna come back around 6 o'clock to talk to us, right? So I think we talked to a total of 7 people, in a span between like 3 to 6. And the same thing, they were saying, the decision is final. He's the supervisor. Kept on giving us the runaround. So like I said, I was still optimistic that we were getting out. And so at 5:58, when they brought in a Subway and a pillow and blankets, I was like, shit. Well, maybe we're here for the night. So that's when I started asking questions. And then the lady was like, so I was trying to get them to understand the logistics behind sending us back. So basically I was talking to her. We were talking to her, like, not in a combative way. We were just trying to make sure they understand how this process works and how, So I was telling her, so she basically said in her words, she said, you can literally, so they're kicking us out Friday. So the first flight on Friday, you can literally touch down in Miami and come right back. Because I asked her, so I'm like, so how long, because we asked like, how long are we kicked out for? Are we kicked out for, 15 days, 30 days? She was like, no, you're only kicked out for a day. So then I was like, okay, well, first of all, like I said, it was not a combative way. It was like, so I was like, so let me get this straight.
Was she speaking English to you?
Yeah, she can speak English.
Okay.
So I was like, so let me get this straight. So we can literally, so we're getting kicked out, but we can literally hop on the next flight back to Cartagena. Is that what you're saying? And she said yes. And so then I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because we have to have a COVID test within 72 hours before we fly, back to the United States. Otherwise, they won't let us in.
Mm-hmm.
So then she was like, well, no, technically you didn't, touch down in Colombia, but I was like, that doesn't matter. I didn't say that doesn't matter. She gave me some excuse. It was like, well, I'm gonna contact it. She said she's gonna contact the CDC or something like that. But she's like, yeah, you guys should be fine. So from that last interaction at like 6 o'clock, when I say we didn't see a single soul, we didn't see a single soul from 6 o'clock until about, I want to say 8 or 9 o'clock the next day.
Mm.
And so then they told us, they said, hey, if you guys need anything, like if you need something, just wave at the camera. And what's crazy, Ernesto waved at the camera, and like a security guard, I think it was a cleaning lady came, and he was like, yeah, tell them I'm gonna call immigration. Tell them I'm gonna call immigration. Tell them I'm gonna call immigration. So we're just sitting there. I was just like, this is whatever. Just gotta wait it out. But I was still optimistic that we're gonna get out the next day. So we're just sitting there, and so then finally, I think I hit you up around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
It was here it was like 8 something. Yeah, I think you were an hour ahead. So yeah, probably around 10.
So I asked you, I said, hey, this is, because I asked you, like, you've been to Colombia a lot, right? So I was like, you were like, yeah. I just like, hey, I have a situation. I need some advice. So then, we started talking. Mm-hmm. So then you told me, like, hey, just put it in the group chat.
Go to the group. Take it to the group. Take it to the group.
Yeah. So then, I just asked a question, and people started giving me the answers, right? So, that's when someone in the group got a hold of an attorney.
That's Rose. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rose, and basically, that's how the whole process got started. So, Ernesto was talking to her because he's fluent in Spanish. So they're kind of going back and forth. So
the attorney called and spoke to you guys? Well, had to speak to him because he's speaking Spanish.
Yeah, so they were going, they were in constant communication pretty much the whole night.
Okay.
Yeah, they were in like, it was between calling, texting, voice messaging, like they were always in constant communication.
Okay.
So from there, she let us know. She was like, she called the airport police. The airport police said they have no record or anything of us, in the airport. So she concluded that we're legally being held and no one knows. And so then I was like, damn, for real? And yeah, that's pretty much what happened as far as that night. So like I said,
a lot of back and forth. We went back and forth all the way up to like
yeah. So
3
we're,
o'clock in the morning.
yeah, we're just going, yeah, we're just going back and forth. People just, I really was just keeping optimistic. Like, what's crazy is like when I tell people like we were not panicking, like our whole demeanor was just optimistic and we were just calm and cool. When I say like calm and cool, we were just because we did nothing. Like we literally did not do anything wrong. So we weren't panicking. We weren't like saying let us out, even though they locked the door so we couldn't get out, right? So the whole time we were just calm. We were, I was like, hey, at least we have a cell phone. And
That's the first question I asked you, if you remember. I said, you have a charger?
yeah.
You have a phone charger?
Mm-hmm. So, we pretty much we're just chilling, talking, and we're just like kind of figuring out like, man, are they really serious that we can literally fly, get kicked out, and come back? So we're just like, I'm like everything so our whole conversation was like, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. So then Ernesto called he didn't call immigration, but he called the embassy. So he called the embassy, spoke to the embassy, he's like, they say, we really can't do anything because it's not a criminal matter. So really we were just in there.
So he got through. At what time did he get through to the embassy?
He got through the embassy around 2:00
in the morning. And they answered the phone and said they can't do anything for you.
Yeah, they took, they said, what happened? They said, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And he said, yes, 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 and they basically said that they took down the information, but they said we really can't do anything because this is not a criminal matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, man, I'm just gonna take it like a man and just wait it out. I was just going to, like I said, just be optimistic about it. I'm like when I say we literally didn't do anything, I 100% believe we did not do anything. And I was just kind of like think of scenarios as like, man, like what could it like? I mean, was it a racial thing? I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was racial because, I mean, I just think.
You don't know what's in his mind. So
yeah,
he could have just been having a bad day or,
Yeah, to me, like I concluded, like he honestly just, I mean.
asking questions. So let me ask a quick question though.
Yeah.
How long were you in the group before last night, before Friday?
Maybe a week.
Okay, so you have been back and forth with some of the fellas and planning your trip and so on your way down.
Yeah, it was like a week or so. Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Okay, so you made it through the night, and we have video that's gone. I mean, we seen your video. Man, I'm here. Let me show you. And we got to see everything. I'm not going to play all the videos here, but and then I remember saying, if somebody comes in, record them with your audio, but don't do like this with the, don't.
So that's what so someone came in, and so then I recorded it with my my Apple Watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to sync my Apple Watch to my phone so I can let y'all hear it, but for some odd reason it will not sync.
So is that how we got the audio? Is that how we got the audio? It was a separate audio one, right?
Yeah, that's how. Yes, that's how y'all got the audio. So what I did, that was because the conversation was like 10 minutes or so. So, but you only heard like maybe like 3 minutes because I don't know, it just kept cutting off. But basically, the guy said that it was a mistake.
Well, let me ask you though. So okay, so first of all, did you sleep at all?
Hey, I told Ernesto it was crazy. I actually slept pretty good. For whatever reason, I I actually slept. I actually took a good cat nap. Like I woke up, I'm like, damn, I slept not bad. Like I wasn't, paranoid. I wasn't like panicking. I actually just said, well, whatever. I guess I'll go to sleep.
It is what it is. Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
yeah,
So then once you woke up, and the good thing is, and for everybody who hasn't seen the video, they did have bathrooms there in that room. Okay. But they hadn't fed you since 6 p.m. when that last person came in, right? So now it's 8 o'clock in the morning when you see somebody else?
8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock. It was 8. Hold on. Hold on a second. It was, hold on.
And did they bring food with them?
Yeah, they Subway. So same Subway. So it was, hold on. It was around, actually came around about 9:40. 9:40, yeah, around like 9:40.
15 hours you were in there with only surviving on that one Subway meal from 6 o'clock yesterday, day before.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nobody came and checked on you medical wise?
No one came in like, peeked through the mirror, like peeked through the window. No one did like, y'all good, nothing. When I say, there's video, I was like, man, there's not a single soul in the airport. Nothing. There was nobody. Nobody. Like when I say, because people keep saying, that's inhumane. They're treating them like dogs and cats. And I said, they're not treating us like dogs and cats because cats and dogs get treated better than us. At least they check up on them. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
Okay, so 8 o'clock they came in. Then there is a video of someone talking to Ernesto.
That was at 9. So I checked back. So I started recording that conversation, but then I didn't want him to see what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I paused, cancel that video and then just start recording on my Apple Watch.
So that was from your watch?
That was from my watch. No, the audio. So the audio.
Oh, okay. But you had a few minutes of the guy talking to Ernesto from like his shoulder on down.
Yeah. So I didn't want him to see what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just said, let me just stop the video and just, record the audio through my Apple Watch.
Okay.
So basically the summary was, and like I said, we're just trying to have a conversation with him, I was like, man, can we just talk to someone that's above this guy? That's all we wanted to do, and like we were just saying to him, look, if y'all let us out, we'll forget about the whole thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
We just want to have fun. It's our first time in Colombia. We were being very submissive, we respect everybody. We respect y'all country. We don't want to disrespect y'all country. If y'all felt like we offended y'all, like we apologize. We were being very submissive.
You have to humble yourself. You have to humble yourself. At what point in that conversation, though, did they tell you what was the reason?
There's no reason.
No one ever said biosafety protocol because you pulled your mask down, or he didn't know where he was going to stay?
Nothing. When I said there was no valid reason, the only thing they said was, we can't reverse his decision. When I said there was no reason, there was none reason, nothing.
Did you ask the people in the morning, what was his decision based upon? Why did he choose to kick us out?
He couldn't give us a straight answer. He was running around in circles.
He didn't say biosafety or anything.
None of that. Nothing.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. What I can do is I'm gonna try and get the audio to my cell phone, and then I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can actually hear the conversation, and you'll be like, damn.
Well, I remember hearing the other guy, because when he was over there talking to Ernesto, he was going, man, we don't even care no more. We just want to come in. I mean, we can forget all about this, man. Just don't send us back and tell us to come all the way back.
Pretty much. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then I asked him again, I was like, so we're getting on this flight shortly, so we can literally, as soon as we touch down in Miami, we can literally get on the next flight back here. So then I was like, haven't we suffered enough? I like to.
So
Like,
let me ask you, after that conversation, was that the last communication with them before somebody had to come and take you out of the room?
So that was so basically that was the last conversation that we had with anybody, because he said that he's like, yeah, let me see if I can try to get someone to talk to you guys. And so I was like, okay. So pretty much that was it. So after around, so our flight was at like 1:55. So probably around like, I don't know, 12 something, they let us out and they just said, hey, follow us. And that was pretty much it.
Where'd you follow them to?
We followed them to the gate.
They walked you all the way from that room back up to a gate and already had the tickets already purchased. However, they did it. Who paid for that? Do you know?
Probably them.
The government?
Because I was not probably I don't even know who paid for it. They just said, you know what's crazy? Because I kept telling Ernesto, man, we're gonna get out. They're not gonna. I got an alert on my phone. It's like, hey, your flight's at gates such and such. I'm like, oh shit. Well,
you know it's real.
I guess we're going back. You know, I was like, I told Ernesto, man, we tried. I mean, we tried everything. I mean, we tried getting a lawyer. You know, we got the news. I mean, hey, you know.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you see my video I did about a month ago about traveling overseas and you have to humble yourself? Because people will run up on you, you know, police officers or somebody else in authority, and you just have to go, oh, I'm sorry. Did you see that video?
What was crazy, I actually haven't, but I'm like that, you know, anyways, you know what I mean? Like when I go to a foreign country, you have to, like, you can't, I'm telling people, you can't expect like things to be like America. You know what I mean? You can't be combative. You can't be, you know, I know my rights. I know my rights. You can't be like that. You have to be submissive. You know, you have to be, even if they're wrong, you know,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like that is what it is. So the whole time, like I said, I wasn't combative, very respectful. Even after all this, I shook one of the dude's hands. I said, you know what? You tried. You're the only one that actually cared about us. You gave us food. You gave us a blanket. And thank you. Thank you. You know, we're still going to come back. So, I mean, it was just, you know, we just dealt with the wrong person at the wrong time. And for whatever reason, when he saw a group of us, something triggered in his mind. It was like, man, I'm gonna get one of these guys today. Something triggered. Like,
were you all young guys?
We're all young.
All young American guys?
Yeah. So something must have triggered for him to just say, hey, you know, y'all, you know, send us back. I don't know if I can't say it was a race thing. I can't say he don't like Americans. Yeah. I mean, I really can't. There's no explanation. It was just, it's a rare occurrence. Like that's something.
You know, you can't say the racism part because we don't know what was in his mind.
Yeah.
But when he pulls you to the side and go, you're American.
Yeah.
That's kind of American. It's because you're American. He pulled you aside. But are you aware that there is a story on one of the sites that said that you all didn't follow the biosafety protocol? Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
You need to look this stuff up because there's stories on you. So, you know, Rose, his attorney contacted a couple of sources. He put a couple of sources on the site because the main thing I think the good thing about having somebody on the outside is we can do more than you can from inside. Yeah. So we can I was getting ready to contact your congressman that morning, 8 o'clock. You'd have said the word, man, we'd have had a lot of people making some phone calls. So our whole goal was to get you out of that room first. Yeah. If you want to stay, fine. If you want to go back, whatever. I kept telling you, I said, man, when you sit on that plane, that's when you need to be, okay, it's over with now. And you can just start from scratch.
Oh, no. What's crazy is like, when we were waiting to board the plane, like I said, we knew it was over, but I'm like, we got to start over, you know. And how we start over is like, okay, well, I guess we just book another flight.
Well, I like that. I'm gonna tell you something, man. You have a mild personality too. So for those who may want to comment that he had the American attitude and so on, he did not. We watched his videos throughout the night with him. I mean, it was a group of us. I don't know, 10, 20, 30 of us. Some people just told me they were watching it. They didn't interject or anything. They were watching it all unfold overnight. And like you said, at some point, man, this ought to be a lifetime story. At some point.
Like, hey, you know, in my, you know, 5 years, you know, this is gonna be, it's a good story to tell, you know. But you know, I read some of the comments, you know, I was kind of scrolling, and people was like, you know, maybe he was combative. I'm like, when I say I was calm, because like I said, I've always been taught, man, don't let people see you sweat, you know, like be calm under pressure, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't let them see, don't give him that much power. Don't make him like think that you're weak, you know. Don't, like, you're not. I'm like, I wasn't crying like oh my God, you know, like I was just like, okay, well, it is what it is.
It
man.
is what it is. Until you can change it, you got to deal with what you got. Yeah.
So when I said, like, once we got to the gate, I was like, man, we going home. No, I'm sorry. Once we got that alert, you know, like, yeah, man, it's done. We tried. Like I said, like, bro, like, we tried a lot. I mean, we can get A for effort.
So when you landed, I mean, I guess you guys talked when you got off the plane. Were you sitting next to each other on the plane?
We sat next to each other. And what's crazy is, like, Ernesto booked a flight on the plane to Medellin.
Okay.
He used my credit card because his car wasn't working to book a flight to Medellin. So we landed at 5 o'clock, and he flew to Medellin at 7 o'clock.
Oh, did he make it in okay?
He made it in. Yeah,
so you'll see him there.
Yeah. So he made it in. So I was just like, yeah, we just, you know, we forgot about the whole thing. You know, not forgot, but we just like, whatever, you know. It is, like I said, it is what it is. You know, I was like, hey, I mean, it was just we just lost a day. You know, like, my plan was to not, you know, my plan is to stay here for, you know, weeks, not days. So I'm like, hey, just one day. I told him, like, hey, at least we're saving money.
Let me ask you. I was getting ready to say, so you were going to stay in Cartagena. Did you book an Airbnb or a hotel and prepay it?
No. So I did a hostel.
Okay. For how many days?
So I did a hostel from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So then I just paid, like, I think I paid like a $20 deposit and had to pay the rest when I got there. So I'm like,
got there.
I lost $20. So
that was a good deal. So you got blessed on that one. Yeah, how about the airfare though? How much? You said it was a cheap flight, but what's a cheap flight?
So my airfare was, I gotta look, but it was like 130.
That's cheap
from Miami. So I'm like, you know, some people spend money on, you know, unnecessary things. I spend money on traveling. So I'm like, you know, it's unfortunate that I lost $130, but I'm not hurt by it. Like, I'm not hurting, you know. I mean, it's just, yeah.
In the whole scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. How much was your flight to Medellin? Because you waited till you got to Miami before you booked, right?
Yeah. So my flight to Medellin was like 100. Actually, I can tell you right now.
100.
100. I'm sorry, 180.
So okay. So let's start fresh again. Okay. So we lost connectivity again, right quick, but we were talking about you scheduling your flight to Medellin. That cost you $180, and you had no issues getting in. How about when you landed? Let me ask you this: were you nervous when you landed in Medellin?
So it was crazy. So I convinced my friend back in Austin to come to Medellin with me. So I was like, hey man, just come. I got Airbnb credits. You don't have to pay for the room. Just come, I got you, you know. So what's crazy is like I was more nervous when I was waiting in the immigration line than I was the entire time I was in that room the previous that Thursday. So I was like when I say I was sweating, I was like just it was bad. Like it was like I was just like had to go to the bathroom at least 4 or 5. I was nervous, you know, because I like, you know, you never know what can happen. You know what I mean? So once I got through, I was just like, thank God, because like I said, from Thursday to Saturday, or Thursday to Saturday, I only like been in airports and planes. So I said I felt like I was a flight attendant. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, I just want to just relax, you know, kick back and just, you know, start my vacation, you know. So
I got you. Well, I'm glad you made it there safely, man. I'm glad your buddy made it too. So hopefully you guys can hook up. Do me a favor while you're there too. Get the link for the new app that we're using now, because we're migrating from WhatsApp to this new platform. Because in that platform, you can show your location and you'll be able to see other people who are there.
Oh, okay.
In the chat group.
And what's funny, you know what's crazy about this whole thing? So we went up. So there's people like when I was texting the group. There were people on the flight. I met people out there in the group because I was like, you know, after the bar we were walking, and one dude was like, "Manfred, is that you?"
Recognize you in Medellin?
Yeah, he recognized me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm part of that group, man." I was like, "Hey, man, what you went through, G, man? Hey, come with us, man. I got you." You know, people were like saying to me, "Hey, man, I'll pay for your flight." Like one flight attendant was like, "Hey, I'll pay for your flight. Anything you need, I got you, man. Like what you went through, man. Man, I don't know how you were able to handle that. You know, you were a champ for real. Like, man, I would have been screaming, you know." So the all point, I'm not gonna lie to you, that group, hey, y'all kept me entertained. Like I'm not gonna lie, like y'all kept me like entertained that night, because I was just like, you know, going back and forth. Like it was actually, I made the best out of like that situation, honestly. So
yeah,
it was, yeah, you know, because I talked to what was the guy's name?
Rose.
You know, we were having like, and that, like I said, that was the first time that we had conversations. You know, so we were just talking back and forth like all night. You know what I mean? So it was
good guy, man. He went out of his way. And to have somebody, luckily, that had a friend who was an attorney who could make some calls on your behalf without a charge, dude, you're blessed for that one, man. He stepped up on that one.
Yeah, and so then that me and Ernesto was like, "Hey, man, you know, that's why you be good to people, because you never know, you know." So yeah, but all in all, I mean, it was I want to say it was a learning experience. It was just an experience that, you know, tell my grandkids one day.
I don't know how much you travel, but the more you travel, the more you're going to have instances like that. That it's different when it's international. I mean, your issue happened to be international, and then coming back, I've never heard that before. But, you know, I fly a lot. I have flown up until last year. I've flown a lot. So the more you fly, the more things are going to happen. So things like that are going to happen. So if you could pass on any advice to anyone else watching, how should you prepare yourself when you land? You know, from what should you wear? How should you act? Should you, you know, speak in the language? Any advice you can offer?
So, advice, I would just say, you know, just be very submissive, because like I said, you're entering into their country, so it's their rules. So just be submissive. You know, when they ask you a question, to me, like when someone asks me a question, you know, you just, you know, keep it short. You know, keep it short and simple, straight to the point. What are you here for? Vacation. What do you do? Finance. How long are you here for? 15 days. You know, that's it. You can't, because like I said, it's their rules. You know, anything they can say, they can just lie. You know, they like I said, I don't know if they have like what they think about Americans. You know, like I know a lot of countries think we're big bad. You know, they would think we're better than them. You know what I mean? Because I've seen Americans, you know, like act like that when I'm in like different countries. I'm like, bro,
Hmm.
you're in their country. Just be, you gotta be, you gotta be. At the end of the day, you just gotta be respectful. You know, even when all this happened, we were still not. When I say not once, we did not raise our voice. We did not. We just needed an explanation. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
we weren't banging on the walls. We weren't doing this. Like we were just chilling. Honestly, we're just chilling. We were just respectful the whole time. So, yeah,
So just be prepared. Have
just
your
be.
address. Have
I'll
your.
play this. I'll play this. So now since the pandemic, now I know. So I mean, I flew to Mexico, you know, during this whole COVID thing. Like
Mhm.
Mexico's, you know, not that restricted, but like these countries that are like restricted, when you say, hey, what are the requirements? Man, make sure you just print everything out. Be prepared, man. Just make sure that you have everything in order. Don't be fumbling around. You know, don't do this, do that. Because, like I said, they can use anything. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
just, I told my friend like from now on, I'm not talking to anybody at the airport. I'm just gonna, yeah.
That's a
So
good one too. That's a
yeah,
good one. Don't
don't-
don't be a part of another group because that group
yeah.
could infect you somehow.
Yeah. So I don't know, I just, especially now since the pandemic, still going on, I would just say, hey, just be prepared. When they say here's all the requirements, just make sure you have all the requirements. Um, yeah, just be prepared and just, answer their questions short and straight to the point, but
Hmm.
not
Keep it
in
moving.
a not in a aggressive way. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm. Oh, I
yeah,
know. And keep
yeah,
it. And one last thing before you go. Excuse me. When you're in the country too, and you're walking around Parquilleras,
yeah.
same thing. You're still in
That's
another country. You can't pull that American attitude.
no,
You
no.
can't do
And
it.
like I said, even like 'cause when you're videos, you talked about being like not being vulnerable, not being all flashy, not doing this, because like I said, you're a target. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they see you, you're like, damn, okay, there's an opportunity. So when you're in these countries, you almost have to blend in. You almost have to even if not Colombia, you have to blend in and not look like a target because, like I said, especially with the pandemic, you don't know how people like lives been affected. You don't know, if they work. Like people gotta survive. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was in some of these people's situations, and I see like somebody like leaving a cell phone, like that one video. It was some
The
girl left
laptop.
her laptop. She left her
Okay.
laptop
Oh, okay.
outside.
That was not a theft. That was a donation.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, you gotta remember that you're not in America. You can't do those sort of things. You know what I mean? So you can't be all flashy. You can't wear, the latest shoe. You honestly just gotta look simple. You gotta keep everything simple. Keep
Hmm.
everything simple and you should be fine. I mean, like I said, are things going to happen? Yeah, things might happen, but you just gotta be prepared, for the worst case. If someone steals your card, like if somebody takes your debit card, well, you gotta, call the bank, make sure you have, available funds, make sure you have a backup. Someone steals your passport, well, I don't know. Someone steals your phone, I brought
Backup
I brought
phone.
I brought a backup phone. Like I said, just don't do anything that makes you look like a target. Like don't count your money at the ATM. Yeah, like I said, it's just don't do drugs, just don't just be humble.
Be
Be
humble.
humble and just be simple, and you'll be fine. Like I said, I've been in Cartagena, not Cartagena, I've been in Medellin since yesterday, and I mean, do I feel comfortable walking late at night? I mean, yeah, because like I said, I don't look like a target. Like I'm not gonna get all drunk and this and that. So yeah,
Mhm.
man, just don't look like a target and just keep everything simple, and yeah, you should be fine. And if something does happen, just be prepared, you know, because like I said, we're not 100% proof. You know what I'm saying? Like things will and can happen. You know what I mean? So
exactly. So
yeah.
there you go. You heard it from Manfred Cole
Sure.
himself. Okay. How to act, humble yourself when you're there. You're in another country, act accordingly, dress simple, no bling,
Yeah.
none of that stuff when you're in another country. So mellow your attitude. And you need to know also, and people are going to bump into you, especially when this video comes out, even more people are going to recognize you. But there's a cold one waiting for you at Sweet Georgia Cafe. Talk to Rob. And there's a cold one waiting for you at Brooklyn's restaurant. And so talk to Chef Jay when you get there too. So they're looking out for you when you get there.
Oh, okay, cool. I might go, you know, the All-Star game tonight. We might go there.
And it's there. They're having it too. They've already thrown up the flyer. Yeah, I put it on here too.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Go out, enjoy it, man. Be safe. Keep in touch. Let us know how it's going. Get on the new app so you can use the location and see who else there in the group is there.
How do you download that?
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
I have your email address, and I think I know who you are now. So I'll send you a link and you're good.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, I appreciate it. And like I said, man, just when you go to these foreign countries, man, you play by their rules. You know, you play by the rules and just be prepared, you know, because like I said, anything, just be prepared, anything and everything can happen, you know?
Yep.
So yeah.
There you go. We'll say it. So we'll end it here. Thanks so much, Manfred. Go out, have a good time, man. We're going to talk soon, okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
We have a YouTube channel. Like it. Please comment and share if you like the video. Please subscribe and kick the bell.